Professor, na sua crítica ao discurso meritocrático, você aponta muito bem a fragilidade da justificativa das elites meritocráticas, de que, sim, nós estamos no topo, mas nós merecemos, mas a gente também produz resultados mais eficientes. Entregamos uma sociedade com mais riqueza e que, portanto, pode ser distribuída a todos. No seu livro, você bem aponta como, pelo menos no campo econômico, essa justificativa não parecia muito verdadeira. As maiores elites financeiras nos bancos de investimento, nos bancos centrais, produziram a pior crise econômica dos últimos 80 anos. E depois salvaram os ricos, os bancos, e deixaram a população sem nada. Esse tipo de crítica ao discurso de uma elite tecnocrática, ele é bastante similar a uma crítica que a gente ouviu durante a pandemia às elites tecnocráticas da saúde, que diziam: nós temos a resposta, nós estudamos, o povo não sabe o que está falando. Geraram muita resistência e até hoje é um tema bastante dolorido e doloroso de discussão no Brasil, em que uma parte da população, capitaneada pelo presidente, estava frontalmente contra as instruções dessa elite de médicos e da saúde. O senhor acredita que houve erros na condução das autoridades no que diz respeito à saúde pública e esse papel de uma elite esclarecida de guiar a sociedade?
Yes, and I think you're right to draw the connection between the discrediting of elites, credentialed elites, especially economists, during the era of neoliberal globalization, and the discrediting or the lack of legitimacy of public health and medical elites offering advice during the pandemic. I think these are connected. Let's first consider the mainstream economists and the political parties, center-left and center-right, who accepted their neoliberal prescription for globalization. They assured us that free capital flows and the trade agreements that made property rights, intellectual property rights enforceable in various countries, preventing generic drug manufacturing even, the deregulation of financial industry, that all of this would yield prosperity and affluence. And there would be winners, but the gains to the winners could be used to offset the loss to the losers. We were told this by the experts, by the mainstream economists, by the political parties. And it didn't come true. In fact, as you say, in 2008, in the financial crisis, it all came crashing down, the great plan of deregulating the financial industry. So elites, the economists especially, were rightly discredited by the financial crisis and the aftermath, to say nothing of the inequality that their project brought about. Then comes the pandemic. And we desperately needed the advice of public health officials, and yet now expertise had become politicized, had become seen as ideology because of the experience during the 4 decades of neoliberal globalization. And this is going to matter a lot. And this is why we had such fierce debates over even whether to mandate the wearing of masks, to say nothing of vaccines. People became suspicious of expertise, credentialed elites in general. It was part of the populist backlash. Now, this is going to matter especially when it comes to dealing with climate change, when already we hear scientists, experts saying that unless something is done, these will be the consequences if there is warming beyond 1.5 centigrades and so on. But people aren't listening. A large portion of our populations are suspicious of that expertise too. And so what we have to, I think, question and even abandon is the habit, the technocratic habit of saying, follow the science. We heard this slogan time and time again. Follow the science in deciding whether to close schools or open schools. But that's a false slogan. Science can and should inform questions such as whether and when to open schools or how to address climate change. but only politics and moral judgments, to go back to our earlier discussion, and conceptions of how to live with nature. These are moral and civic questions that experts, however knowledgeable, can't answer. But it's a technocratic conceit. It's a kind of arrogance even, to assume that if we just follow the science, all of our problems will be solved. It also leaves out democratic citizens.